Hi, Berry Bunch. I've been away for a little while because I was very, very sad. My mother died, and some friends of mine have died, and people that I knew died, and that made me very, very sad. Remember I told you a long time ago that when you're feeling sad or you feel like you don't want to go anywhere, but you have to go somewhere, put on bright colors, dress up, wear something that makes you really feel good about yourself. Well, I have on my gold dreams never sleep hoodie. It makes me feel happy. That's why I have it on. I'm not very sad anymore because I believe I'm going to see those friends and see my mom in heaven later. That's what I believe. I will see my mother in heaven. Now, I know sometimes you're going to be sad also. Your pet might die. Your grandmother might die. Your mother, not might, they will. Hopefully they won't while you're young, and you'll be able to see them and play with them and spend time with your mom and dad. But sometimes things like that happen, and we can't control that. But what we can control is how long we're going to cry. Sometimes, not all the time, but you have to do things that make you happy. What I do to make me happy, I go riding in the country. I listen to happy music. I sing a lot. I do. I listen to books. I read books that take me to another place. But one thing I love to do when I'm feeling sad is look at photos from a long time ago, and I go down memory lane. Do you want me to show you some of my photos that I looked at? I'll start with my sons. My sons are grown-ups now, but I have hundreds of pictures of them when they were little. I'm only going to show you a few, though. Here's a photo of my oldest son, who is now 34. He's a major in the Army. Here's a picture of my oldest son. We call him Charles Jr. when he was 6 years old. This picture makes me happy. Here's another photo of my youngest son, who is now 24. He lives in LA. His name is Tyus. This picture is when Tyus was 4 years old, and it makes me very happy when I look at it. Here's a photo of my oldest grandson, Charles III. He's 3 years old. When I see this picture, it makes me happy. Charles III is now going to the 7th grade. Here's a photo of Jer Bear when he was 1 year old, or maybe 10 months old. I can't remember. He's now going to the 5th grade, but this picture makes me smile. Here's a photo of my oldest son when Jerry, that's his nickname, and CT came to visit, and it was at a picnic. This picture makes me smile. Here's my Archie, my youngest grandson, who is now 4 years old. He was 1 year old there. He's a big boy now. This picture makes me smile. Here's a photo of my son's wife. I call her my daughter-in-love, not my daughter-in-law, because I love her very much like a daughter. She's like the daughter I never had. Here's a picture of my daughter-in-love, Candace, with my grandson, Archie. This picture makes me smile. Here's a photo of all the Berry boys without Archie. Archie was a little bitty baby. He couldn't stand up or anything. This is my husband, Charles. Here's Tyus, who now lives in LA. He's a grown man now. He's 24. Here's Charles Jr. or CJ. He's a grown man. He lives around the corner. He's the one in the Army. Here's Here's Jerry. Here's CT. This picture makes me smile. Here's a photo of me and Archie. Mr. Gimple took this photo. He's a professional photographer. He knows who he is. I love this photo. This photo makes me smile. A few more. Here's a photo of me. Can you believe that? I had long hair. Yeah, once upon a time, my hair was all the way down to my shoulders, but I cut it because it's easy to manage. I got an award. I can't remember what the award was about, but I was happy about it. And this picture reminds me of how happy I was when I had my long hair and had an award and I was dressed up real fancy. I love this photo. This is a photo of my son and I. I'm sorry, my husband and I. Oh my gosh. My husband and I at a ball in Japan. We lived in Japan. I loved it in Japan. And when I think about Japan, I smile. Those are happy memories that make me feel happy. 2 more pictures and then 1 more picture that really makes me happy. Here's a photo of my oldest son, Charles Jr. I was going to say Charles III, when he graduated from Austin Peay State University in Clarksville, Tennessee. This photo makes me smile. And here's a photo of my youngest son, Tyus. He graduated from Mizzou, the University of Missouri in Columbia. This photo makes me smile because he graduated early. I have a coat on because it was wintertime. Scarves, coats, it was the wintertime. He graduated early in December. This photo makes me smile. And this final photo is a picture of my mom. My mom died, but I believe I will see her later. She's a beautiful lady. I'm the person that I am because of my mom. She read a lot. I read a lot. I have hundreds of her books that she left for me, and I have them in my reading room, my book room. I miss my mom a lot, but I have to go on with my life. Like I said before, I believe I'm going to see my mom later in heaven. So, there are lots of things you can do to make yourself feel better when you're feeling very, very sad. It happens sometimes. I love reading, like I said. That takes me away. I go on nature walks. I take drives in the country. I call those my carcations. I travel a lot. I play games with my grandsons. I go on trips. I go listen to music. I go to the symphony. I go to plays. I do a lot of things to make me feel happy. I'm going to share a story with you called Love You Forever. Because when I was sad, that book came to my mind. I looked for it. It was in some boxes downstairs that I had stored. This is an old book that I read to my boys when they were much younger, each of them. This story is written by Robert Munsch, and it's illustrated by Sheila McGraw. Illustration means illustrator means the person who draws, colors, or paints the pictures. Let me tell you a little bit about the author. The author, Robert Munsch, he is an internationally famous author of more than 20 books. Wow! In 1987, he won the Vicki Metcalf Award for Children's Literature. That means he's a very, very good author. And the illustrator, Sheila McGraw, she has worked as an illustrator and writer for 25 years. Oh my gosh, I'm sure longer now because this book was written, wow, a long time ago, like maybe 1990, 1985. I don't know. I don't remember, but it was a long, wait, I can look. It says, copywritten 1986, 54th printing 1997. So it was a long time ago. So I'm sure they've been doing it longer than the time I'm saying. In that time, Sheila McGraw, she has contributed paintings and drawings to magazines, newspapers, and books. Her book, Paper Mache for Kids, won a Benjamin Franklin Award. That means you're really, really good at what you do. Now for the story, Love You Forever. And remember, I read the pages, then I show you the pictures. A mother held her new baby, and she slowly rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she held him, she sang, I love you forever, I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. And there's the picture of the mommy rocking the baby. The baby grew. just like you. He grew and he grew and he grew until he was 2 years old. And then he ran all around the house. He pulled all the books off the shelves like you do, like you did. He pulled all the food out of the refrigerator and he took his mother's watch and flushed it down the toilet. Oh my gosh. Sometimes his mother would say, "This kid is driving me crazy." Just like I did my mom and like my son did me and all of them. We all did it when we were 2 years old. We all did it. And then at nighttime, when that 2-year-old was quiet, the mommy opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, looked up over the bed, and if he was really, really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth. And then she would sing her song, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." I bet your mommy's coming there and check on you when you're sleeping, because that's what mommies do. The little boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew, just like you. He grew until he was 9 years old. And he never wanted to come in for dinner. He never wanted to take a bath, and you thought you were the only one. My grandsons do not like taking a bath. My older ones. Archie, he loves being in the bathtub. He sometimes wanted to go to his grandma, and he always said, sometimes not so good words, kind of bad words. Sometimes his mother wanted to sell him to the zoo. Not really. She really loved him, but sometimes kids do that to you. They make you really upset. I understand moms and dads and grandmas. I have children. My boys were young too. I understand totally. But at nighttime, when he was asleep, the mother quietly opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of the bed. If he was really asleep, she would pick her 9-year-old boy up and rock him in her lap and sing that wonderful song, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." Yeah, believe it or not, boys and girls and teenagers and adults, you will always be our babies. My sons are 34 and 24. I still see them as my baby. I don't call them baby. I don't do that. But I still see them as my baby because they will always be my children, even though they're grown-ups. The boy grew, he grew, and he grew until he was a teenager. Oh my gosh. Moms and dads know what I mean when I go, "Oh my gosh, he's a teenager." He had strange friends, and he wore strange clothes. And he listened to strange music. And sometimes the mother felt like she was in the zoo when she was in the house. Yeah. Teenagers, no words. But at nighttime, when that teenager was asleep, the mother opened the door to his room. She crawled across the floor. And if he was really asleep, she picked up that great big boy and rocked him back and forth, while she sang her favorite song to him. "I love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." And there he is right there. Now the teenager grew and grew, and he grew until he was a grown-up person. He left home. He got out of the house and moved across town. But sometimes on dark nights, the mother got into her car and drove across town. She wanted to check on her son, like I do sometimes. If all the lights in her son's house were out, she opened his bedroom window, crawled across the floor, and she would pick that great big man up. And she would rock him back and forth, and while she rocked him, she sang, "I'll love you forever, I'll like you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." There. Well, that mother, she got older, like my mom. She got older and older and older. My mom was 84 when she died. One day she called up her son and said, "You'd better come and see me because I'm very old and I'm very sick." So her son came to see her. When he came in the door, she tried to sing the song, "I'll love you forever." Her voice was very weak because she was sick. "I'll like you for always." But she couldn't finish because she was too old and she was sick, like my mom. So you know what happened? The son went to his mother. He picked her up and rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he sang the song he heard his mom sing to him. He sang to his mother, "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my mommy you'll be." When the son came home that night, he stood for a long time at the top of the stairs. Then he went into the room where his very new baby daughter was sleeping. He picked her up in his warm arms and very slowly rocked his daughter back and forth, back and forth. And while he rocked his daughter, he sang the song that his mother sang to him. "I'll love you forever. I'll like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be." Yeah. Isn't that a wonderful story? I thought about this book when I thought about my mom, because my mom would sing songs to me, and I would sing those songs to my son. Life goes on. It's like a circle of life. It goes on. We have to go on when we're sad, even if it means putting on bright colors, dressing up, going for walks in the park, going swimming, reading a book, whatever you like to do that makes you happy. Do something that makes you happy when you're sad. It is okay to cry. Cry as long as you need to. I was away for a long time, wasn't I? I cried a lot, but I feel much better because I believe I will see my mom in heaven. I do. And so now you'll see me more often, because grieving or crying a lot is love that has nowhere to go. But I can share it with my sons, my grandsons, my dad, my sisters, my friends, because they're here. And I'm sure my mom would want me to do that. So of course you know I have to sing my song telling you how I feel about you. I love you. This is the best time to sing it because I do love you and I missed you. I love you. I love you. I love you because you're you. So please become the very best, only you, because I love you. Until next time, bye-bye, Berry Bunch.